Hello, walk away folks. I know I said that I was not going to do a video because I'm a very private person. That being said, I'm doing this on YouTube on my own channel, so I have a little bit more control of what gets where. My story, though I have written it, is relatively simple. I never walked away from anything. I was never a lefter, a righter, a Republican, a Democrat. I don't even think I would call myself independent. What I can say is that I was for the truth. The truth was the only thing I ever thought, and I never gave politics much thought, to be honest. So my story, as you all read, is, like I said, fairly simple. So I'm just going to go through it again very, very quickly. My family and I, my parents, maternal grandparents, and I legally immigrated here 28 years ago from the former Soviet Union, which now is Belarus, the country of my birth anyways. I am fluent in Russian and English. I do not understand Belarusian at all. We left due to anti-Semitism and religious persecution. We were pretty much kicked out of the country for wanting to leave. And we became what I like to call citizens of the world for a very long time. After legally, again, immigrating to the States, we had a visa, and I went to school, my parents worked. My grandparents right away got Social Security because they were of the age, and less than a decade after coming here, we all became citizens. Because I was under the age of 18, I became a citizen as soon as my parents did. So they had to actually pass the test. And the test was very, very simple, just basic history class material. My funniest memory is actually chasing my mother around after work with the papers, because I was just studying that in like the 7th grade is when they took the exam. And me like, Mom, what's the stars and the stripes on the flag mean? And she's like, oh, go away, I'm tired. Needless to say, they still passed the exam. But that was just a fond memory of mine. Around the time that this election was getting underway, all the candidates and whatnot, we knew pretty much that we were not going to vote Democrat. I was actually thinking about Bernie for a while, up until I heard that he was pushing the socialism crap. And socialism, for those who do not know, is the introduction of communism. Now, considering we just left a communist country, even though it did fall apart, not like a lot changed. Yeah, no. So considering there was like 17 candidates on the Republican side and like 11 on the Democrat side, we didn't know who the heck we were going to vote for. Once it was narrowed down, then we decided, okay, Trump it is. We also liked the fact that he was a businessman, and it's the first businessman in office, other than Reagan being an actor. We liked the fact of his speeches and his truths and his honesty, and the fact that he was not bought by the whomever is in charge of this junk. So he cannot be bought, basically. Also, one moment. Also, as I mentioned in what I had previously written, though I am pro-environment and obviously pro saving the environment, saving the oceans, all that stuff, I'm very glad we left the EPA, because had we not, it would have just kept draining us of money, and we are trillions of dollars in debt already. Had Hillary Clinton won, my family would have had to run again, because this country would have turned into exactly what we're seeing right now from the media, which is hate and this whole crazy Nazi rhetoric, which is scaring the crap out of us, given that we are Jews and we lost 67 members in the Holocaust. So basically, anything of this kind of 1930s Germany scaring the crap out of all of us. Um, so I actually joined this campaign on a whim. I saw Brandon's video and I thought it had truth in it. Now, if you remember from the big start of this video, I said that I was pro-truth, and that's really the only political side that I'm on. I'm pro-truth. So when I saw the video, I was like, wow, this is very powerful. So let me join this group and see what it is. But I don't join lots of groups. I'm literally in 6. And so I joined the group, and immediately what struck me was that the stories people told were basically like my own. Not the leaving or the not leaving, but how they were treated by their friends, sometimes by their family, sometimes by their coworkers, being able to talk openly and feel comfortable enough. And then people's responses, the positivity, the kindness, the caring, and remembering how much my own friends, granted, I will say my own friends for the most part, the other side or whatever side, all sides, have been kind and generous and wonderful. There were a few exceptions which I lost, and that's where the poetry sharing came in. Those of you who read my poems in the beginning. A little bit more about myself. I'm 34 years old. I live in Stamford, Connecticut, all 28 years living in this country. We've lived in Connecticut. I'm really tired of the state, and not just because it's a blue state, but just in general. It's a very, very expensive state. And as I told someone recently, my favorite color's blue, but not when it pertains to politics. My dog also, by the way, voted for Trump. So, the other thing about me is that I am a PhD student. I'm almost halfway done with my degree. I'm doing it through the University of the Rockies in Denver, Colorado, online. It's actually harder to do your PhD online than it is in regular, the 5 to 7 years to get a business doctorate. My goal is to be a college professor and teach business and put better managers out in the world. The other thing about me for fun, I like to scuba dive. I am a certified diver. I am a writer, not just of poetry. I have different genres. The poetry part, some is published, some is not. My hair looks absolutely a mess in this video. I don't know what happened to it. It's like as soon as I decided to record this video, my hair just went. Some of you might have noticed my very dry sense of humor. Another very important part about myself is that I have a incurable and untreatable disease called myalgic encephalomyelitis, and the CDC's name to it is chronic fatigue syndrome, which is a bullshit name. We're trying to reverse that. There's a lot going on. The disease, basically, I was bedridden for 2 years completely. And I nearly lost my life. I stopped breathing, and I became a walking, talking miracle. So I'm basically, I guess, a beacon of hope for those in the ME community, as myalgic encephalomyelitis is called as ME. It's a lot easier than saying that whole blah, 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 blah thing. ME affects 1 million people in America. That's the guesstimate. And about 17 million worldwide, which is more than ALS and MS combined. And yet it has been completely buried by the CDC for the last 30 years. Not to worry, I'm fighting that too. So that's pretty much me. If you guys are interested in more of my work, that's, poetry, other stuff, let me know. I will link things. Mostly I don't use my channel on YouTube much anymore just because my dog kind of took over it. And I just am very thankful for all of you caring, kind, cool people that just make it a very interesting place to chat, and without name calling or BS or whatever. I've never seen that much name calling in my life, what's going on now. So I really hope that that stops soon, because I'm really getting tired of 1930s Germany and the United States in 2018. We don't need another one of that, losing 67 members in the Holocaust. for our family, and just recently finding out that some of those were in Auschwitz is not something we want to go through again. Because, you know, it's very uncool, putting it mildly. I have a hard time talking because I do have the cognitive issues and stuff, so I would, I know I'm waving, I just have people coming in here every 2 seconds. So, just again, thank you everyone for your kindness and your, just being able to speak freely. Free speech, right? First Amendment. All right, thank you very much, and have a wonderful Saturday wherever you may be. And if you want to chat, hit me up on Messenger. Baruch Hashem. God bless. Good night.